All right, this is now the 1920s. Now, 1920s is broken up into three periods here. First one here is the politics. So we're going to talk about Warren G to Calvin C. I know that was a bad rhyme, but there you go. Now, in the election of 1920, we have James Cox, and he's running against Warren G. Harding. And you can tell it was a pretty sizable win for Warren G. Harding, correct? His slogan was to, in our terms, make America great again. But right then he called it return to normalcy. That means go back to doing what made America the power it was in the first place. And so, yes, it does draw an allusion to Donald Trump's slogan, and maybe we can see what would happen if he's elected. Not trying to get too political here, but just trying to show you a few things, okay? So in return to normalcy, that means we're going to return to laissez-faire, hands off of business. We're going to return to isolationism. We're going to return to not liking unions. We're going to return to nativism. We're going to return to big companies making power, and we're going to see what happens. Okay? Now, Warren G. had a downfall, and that was his friends. His friends, he's from the state of Ohio, were kind of slangily called the Ohio Gang. And this is why Warren G. Harding actually has a ton of scandals associated with him. There's Colonel Forbes, who was stealing money from the veterans, and a bunch of other ones. Now, there are two big ones I really want to highlight, and that's where we're going to move. The worst one was actually called the Teapot Dome. Now, the Teapot Dome was a strategic oil field in Wyoming, and it actually resembles a teapot, hence Teapot Dome. I know, right? Now, this oil field was actually to be reserved for the Navy, but the Secretary of the Interior, his name was Albert Fall, will lease this land to a couple big oil companies, most notably Sinclair Oil, which was the dinosaur, and that was actually poked fun in Cars movies and called the Dino Clear, or Dino, whatever they called their thing, but that's Sinclair Oil, okay? Now, this scandal actually makes its way all the way back to the presidency, but in the end, Albert Fall took the fall. He is found guilty, and he will become the first cabinet officer convicted of a felony and to go to prison. And so that's really the big one there. Now, the other one I want to talk about is Harry Daughtry. Now, Harry Daughtry was the Attorney General. In this capacity, he accepted bribes, and it's known that prisoners could be released by bribing him. He was indicted on fraud, and he was placed in the odd position of being charged of prosecuting himself. However, he got up there and he claimed immunity, meaning he could not do that. Diplomatic immunity, which is protection from prosecution. What's most amazing is that the majority administration saw no problem in this, and they said that, yes, you're okay. So immunity is protection from doing this. Most notably, if you've seen Family Guy, Peter actually creates a state called Pretoria and goes through this MC Hammer like "You can't touch me" immunity dance song and dance. So maybe go YouTube that and look at it and understand what immunity is. Now, Warren G. actually dies. He died of a stroke, and in the end, one of his friends, who was his White House physician, could not save him. And so his vice president, Calvin Coolidge, takes over. He was slangily known as Silent Cal. He really didn't say much, kind of went through the motions. Now, he does keep going through, and in 1924, Coolidge runs for president. His slogan was literally, "Keep cool with Coolidge." I know, right? How awesome of a slogan. Now, Coolidge, as I said before, really felt that no one should interfere with the safety or also business of America. He said that he favored individual enterprise, any general extension of government ownership or control. And so he's going to allow these big businesses to create their wealth, much like they did in the industrial age, and he is going to do little to nothing to interfere. And we're going to see what that causes, okay?